There was an article that came out not only just a few months ago by Jason Schreier via Bloomberg stating that Grand Theft Auto 6's interiors will be larger than previous Grand Theft Auto entries. Let's take a look. He stated that still the game's world remains large with more interior locations than previous Grand Theft Auto games, impacting the timeline. Now this is actually quite interesting, to be honest, that Grand Theft Auto 6's interiors will be larger than previous Grand Theft Auto iterations. Now, with my experience with Grand Theft Auto and its interiors, I've always had an interest and an intrigue, I should say, with how the interiors are in Grand Theft Auto. I always love exploring and being an adventurous player when I am in the world of Grand Theft Auto and I'm experiencing it. But I gotta say that Grand Theft Auto 5's interiors weren't really that fantastic, to be perfectly honest with you. Grand Theft Auto 4, in my personal opinion, nailed it to a T. Yes, that's right, Grand Theft Auto 4 had way more enterable buildings compared to Grand Theft Auto 5. Perhaps the developers at the time when they were making Grand Theft Auto 5, they were probably focusing more so on the actual open world and the actual map of Grand Theft Auto 5 itself, rather than the interiors more so compared to Grand Theft Auto 4 in this case. Now, bringing it back to Grand Theft Auto 6, I think that this is a real step in the direction if this report is true. And if it is, we're in for a real treat, I gotta say. I think if the developers for Grand Theft Auto 6 are able to replicate what they did in Grand Theft Auto 4 with the enterable buildings, with the interiors, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will be up there in terms of how immersed you can feel when you enter buildings and how many interiors that there will be. So hopefully the developers can replicate what they did with Grand Theft Auto 4 in Liberty City. And yeah, as you remember, when you were Niko Bellic, going around in those interiors and going on a little adventure to all those places, compared to Grand Theft Auto 5, it is absolutely night and day. So we want to see if the developers can replicate what they did in Grand Theft Auto 4 in Grand Theft Auto 6. And if it does, Grand Theft Auto 6 will absolutely excel in every aspect, and I think it will get me feeling a little bit like this. I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip of Ronaldo. But getting back to Grand Theft Auto 6 and the topic at hand, I just wanted to actually let this clip run. It was actually Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Grand Theft Auto 4 in terms of their interiors. I'll let this just play out. So yes, as you can see from that clip that just played, it is a major difference from Grand Theft Auto 5 to Grand Theft Auto 4. So hopefully we go back to how it was in Grand Theft Auto 4 with the interiors. And if this report is true from Jason Schreier via Bloomberg, let's hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 will excel in interiors and inaccessible buildings. We gotta just hope and pray. Come on, Rockstar, you gotta make sure you deliver on this one and exceed expectations with this one. Hit a home run, hit it out of the park. Let's hope it is a perfect game, a 10 out of 10. I'm sure with more interiors and accessible buildings, I'm sure Rockstar will absolutely deliver on this one. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts.